footy. This is the Northern Football League match of the day.
Welcome back to the NFL match of the day. At halftime, it is Bundoora with a pretty handy lead, it has to be said, 7-4-46 to Heidelburg 3-7-25. The goal kickers thus far, Cameron Cloak has 3 goals, James Lord has 2, but he has gone off with a hamstring injury. It'll be interesting to see if he comes up in the second half. 1 each also to Gary Moorcroft, Sal Mamone. That makes up Bundoora 7 goals for Heidelberg, singles to each of Chaz Sargent, George Naboo and also Mark Favrin. Around the grounds, Division 2, and it is the Fitzroy Stars coming from behind at quarter time to lead at half-time, 8-5-53 to Whittlesea 6-8-44. Watsonia's 10-5-65. Back from really the brink against Thomastown, 9-4-58. Thomastown led that one by over 25 points earlier, Lee, so Watsonia having a good end to the second quarter. The game here, it just seems Bundoora, their forward line looks too big and powerful for the Heidelberg defence at the moment, but they also look a bit slicker as well, and certainly a lot of that starting from the half back line with Heidelberg's tools unable to really take a mark, but also to lock it in at ground level.
Most definitely, and Bundoora's defence, I was chatting with Jordan and Tom just in the break there, their defence has just been astounding. They are leading from the back. It is, it's the blokes like Barbero and the little number 29 there, Brent Marshall. They've been outstanding this first half and really prevented Heidelberg from kicking goals. Although they had their opportunities, they didn't make the most of it.
It'd be interesting to see what forward line makeup Heidelberg goes with here in the third quarter. We saw Miller go forward. There is certainly Bundoora now kicking to the city end. There's at least a 2 to 3 goal breeze to the city end of the ground. So far in the first quarter, we saw the Bulls kick 4 goals to zip in that with that breeze, or maybe 4 goals to 1 in fact, and then in that quarter there was 2 goals to 3. So Bundoora outscoring Heidelberg in both quarters, but certainly it's going to the city end, which the Bulls will be kicking to. So whether the likes of Miller, who went forward in the second quarter, now go back as a means to see that the side coming out after half time. Any sign of James Lord there at all? We saw him go off the hamstring.
He's gone. He's
iced up, so there we go. That's probably his day done and dusted. The other one was Braden Shaw, who we didn't really see much of in the opening half of the game, and just trying to spot him at the moment. But Shaw certainly didn't have much of an impact. Spent plenty of time on the interchange bench, and if for whatever reason, if he doesn't come back, leave him down to 2 men on the bench that certainly have a lead here of 21 points. But you'd want to be more than 5 goals in front in the last quarter if Heidelberg are going to come home with a breeze. So it's a big quarter for the Bulls here.
It is, and you just mentioned there Braden Shaw. If they are 2 down, Heidelberg are one of those teams that can turn it on. And you also said that Bundoora have been a bit slicker, and they really have this first half. Tommy Flanagan's back on board here. Tommy, we've just noticed that James Lord is out for the day. He is iced up on the glute, quad and hamstring, and he may not take any further part in September at all.
Yeah, it's probably as suspected as we saw when he pulled up short here on the wing in front of us. It didn't look good, did it? He just pulled up, and it seemed like that he was no longer bound for playing for the rest of this game and possibly the remainder of the final series, as you just alluded to. So that'd be unfortunate for them structurally, as well as in terms of team spirit. I'm sure the Bundoora boys want to get over the line for James Lord, if anything.
So the sides they're making their way into position. Cameron Cloak hasn't really left the goal square too often, but he hasn't really had the need to either, as he has taken 3 powerful marks in the first quarter, hit the 3rd goal in the 4th, so he's taken the big marks. He's kicked 3 straight, given one off as well to Sal Mamone, and you see the interchange now. It's Shaw again coming to the bench already, so that'll be one to take note of. It looks like there's also a big learn coming off as well, as Jordan Canales makes his way back into the commentary area, but certainly Braden Shaw's the one to keep an eye on. Seems to be moving freely enough, but certainly been refined to the bench for most of the game.
Jordan, back on board, mate.
Back on board. I think from that first half, one thing I picked out was Jamie Allen. We know, look, he got his hands on the footy quite a few times at the end of that second quarter, but I think he can have a bigger impact, and I think we know that as well. I think he knows that he can have a much bigger impact than what he has had in the first half. So they need someone like him to step up. Danny Nolan as well, get him in the midfield and get him at the ball, as opposed to in the forward line, and I think Heidelberg can still get back in this game as we resume play here at the start of the second half. And straight away from the middle, it's Heidelberg who get it through Mick Finn, who kicks up towards centre half forward, taking it on the bounce. Heidelberg now coming through is looks like Chaz Sargent kicks inside the forward 50 here, inside deep in the forward line. Sinclair's there on hands and knees, being harassed by Benny Shelton, who's calling for the free kick, but the umpire comes in and says, give it to me. We'll have a ball up inside the Heidelburg forward 50.
It was in fact that man you mentioned, Jamie Allen, getting involved there and sending the ball forward. Here's an opportunity, deep inside the pocket, sliding little ball is just going to fade to the left. It could have been a goal there, but just fading to the left as I just mentioned. One behind, first score of the second half. Heidelburg 3 goals, 8-26, trailing Bundoora.
And Brad Miller, he's running off half back there, running with the number 45 in Matt Aquilina for Bundoora. So cannot see Murphy out there at the moment. Could be taking a rest on the bench, but he's one man that we think they need across half back. Bundoora bringing it back in here now, looking for Dennis. Ball goes flat, straight over the back there. Joey Palazzolo couldn't get his hands on it there. Well tackled though. We've heard that a few times today. He loves wrapping his arms around people, and he's got the big man for Heidelberg in Danny Nolan, right in front of the Heidelberg bench there.
So on centre wing, ball thrown up. Dennis taps it down, good tap, but it goes straight to Houlihan though of Heidelberg, who gets on the boot, and that's kicked straight out of bounds on the full.
One more step and he would have been across the boundary line.
And Bundoora have it back. There's Delbridge making a lead out from centre half forward. It goes over his head. He can run onto it here. Delbridge. He's quick. He's in a chase with Mick Finn. He taps it to himself. Tries to go back the second time and get it. Gets around one, but he drops it at the last moment. Dorbola gets it off to Mark Lynch, who gets on the left. Farley puts it inside, but Farley intercepts. Wrapped up in a tackle. Handball is inboard to Palazzolo, who goes high with a wobbling kick to the goal square. Moorcroft underneath it. Doesn't take it. Still alive. Kennedy punches over the boundary line for one rush behind.
Cloak just smashed into the post then. Possibly a little bit worse for wear after that one. The post has hit him a bit harder than his opponents have.
I think Cameron Clark's okay. I don't know about the post though. Kennedy exits defensive 50 and underneath it, Carlisle running for it, but a good mark taken there by Brad Miller, playing on half back again. Now Jamie Allen gets off to Danny Nolan, who's moved into midfield. A little handball out wide, finds Blair Harvey, the skipper, who goes up the line to right half forward. On the half volley there, Sinclair has to take it the second time around. Has to go back to go forward, Sinclair, and just gets it back to Danny Nolan, standing at centre wing. Chips it back over the top for Blair Harvey. Along the boundary line, out of side. Squares it up. Finds Brad Miller standing inboard.
We need more from this bloke,
I think he should go up in the forward line really. He goes further across the ground for the switch, who finds Mark Lynch. Plays on, goes on the left, finds Jamie Allen standing at centre half forward. He goes further inside the forward 50. With Chaz Sargent on the lead. A fantastic lead, a great mark. And he's going to go back for his second goal of the day. And let's hope for Heidelberg's sake that he can put it through.
And unlike all their forward forays in the first half, that was a controlled, measured build-up. They really assessed all the right options. Sinclair having to go back at one stage there on the outer side, and they were able to move the ball around nicely, and it ends in the hands of Sargent, who can put through a really important goal here if he can put it through. He's got 1-1 so far today. This would be Heidelberg's fourth for the afternoon. Early stages in the second half, and I reckon it's swinging back. It's not going to get the distance there on the line. It was Finn trying to keep it in play for Sinclair and Houlihan, but nice work by the Bulls defence to just work it out of bounds there in the left forward pocket.
So probably the better result, if not a goal, for Heidelberg, as the ball's thrown back in the forward pocket, tapped down from Finn. It goes into the hot spot there, clearing out a defensive 50. There is Dave Mitchell, who goes out. Actually hasn't left the 50 yet. Now it has, but it's gone straight over the boundary line, just pitched inside. So not out in the forward, but a throw in on Heidelberg's left half forward flank. So Bundoora lead this one 7-5-47 to Heidelberg 3-8-26, and I call for Jamie Allen to have a bigger impact, and he's had about 4 or 5 possessions at the start of this first quarter as the ball's thrown back in. Tracking it down is Dyson, whose handball went over the boundary line, so there'll be another throw in the similar position, left half forward for Heidelberg.
So 21-point ball game here. That would have been a really important goal there, had it been able to go through. Sadly for Chaz Sargent, couldn't float all the way there. And Dennis just dragging another one out of the ruck and slinging the ball up to wing and half forward. Papalucha wrapped up straight away. It was a good effort there by Lynch. And we'll have yet another stoppage there. That's a good one-on-one battle that's happening there. Papalucha, I think, got the better of Lynch in the second quarter, but Lynch was very good through the first and has started well here in the third. And Palazzolo once again after it. Going in hard was Aquilina. He goes with the left foot kick up to Delbridge. He might just have it. He has to take it off the bounce. He's got the pace to burn. He runs into the open goal, Delbridge, and he slotted it. very happy about it, Delbridge. He gives the 3 or 4 fist pumps to the fans there behind the goals, and he knows how important that goal was. His first of the day, and a really important one, as I just said, for Bundoora. It stretches the lead. 53 plays, 26 early stages here in the third quarter.
Well, how well has that move paid off? I mean, he was playing across half-back in the first half and put him up on half-forward now, and he's got involved once a few minutes ago, and now involved a second time. He's got a goal from it, so fantastic move there from Phil Plunkett to move Ken Delbridge up in the forward line as the ball is now moved back in the middle of the ground. Finn gets over the top of Dennis, taps it down, but wrapped up in the tackle.
So missed opportunities at one end and opportunities taken down at the other, both sides with 12 scoring shots, but it's
Dennis.
Very handy 15-point lead to the Bulls.
So Finn gets the free kick in the middle of the ground. His kick was skewed off the side of the boot. He goes out towards right half forward. Running forward is Trelaw. We haven't seen much of him today. He handballs off to Harvey. He goes around the body, finds a man at right half forward, Favrin, but a good sprawl from behind from Brent Marshall. Sees it over the boundary line. Bundoora leading 53-26 here at the start of the third term.
Another good one-on-one match up there, Favrin versus Marshall. That's been intriguing during the opening half and should continue to be as Finn wins it down. Got it into the path, I think it was Nolan who had it, and then Michael Mitchell was able to get it out towards Farrelly. He just belted it forward into the path of Mitchell. He's going to pick it up here, Mitchell, if he can get onto it, but he can't quite. There's Papalucha in tight there out on the outer wing. So is Mark Lynch. He gets a handball out and a nice little argue, but dispossessed straight away. Was I think was that Nolan there who was tackled?
It's Mamone who's tackled. He's looking for the gap. What he is. Wrong side forward, left footer. He's right on the 50 arc here, kicking to the Preston City oval end. And he's going for Bundoora's 9th. I think he's going to have a shot, Tommy. What do you got?
How good was that tackle and follow-up delivery from Mamone, just setting up Moorcroft, and he's not going to miss those.
And this is what we really like when it does come to finals. The teams that are playing execute their kicks very well. Moorcroft, it's high, looking for Cloak, over the back. Big punch there by Finn. Just waving his hand, and it goes through for a behind. So about 7 minutes played in this third quarter. It is Bundoora 8-6-54, Heidelburg 3-8-26.
Harvey goes long, but only as far as Dennis, who almost took the mark. Still a chance at ground level here for the Bulls. Handball came out to Carline. Mitchell was loose, but he decided to go longer to Papalucha, who split 4 Heidelberg defenders to take the mark, the small man. It was a perfect kick in the end. There was Nolan, Lynch, Drapak, and also Miller down there as well. Was Finn there too? There might have been 5 of them. I thought there was 4, possibly Finn as well. So
Finn was standing right in front, and how shattered would you be if you were McFinn as Papalucha comes in directly in front? No doubt about this one. Papalucha's gone right through the middle, and Bundoora now 9-6-60 to Heidelberg 3-8-26, and they're just steaming away now here, Bundoora. But McFinn, he was standing right in front of Papalucha. He towers over him by about 10 feet, and it just went straight through his hands and fell right to Papalucha's arms. That's disappointing for McFinn.
We were just speaking of the good job that Mark Lynch has been doing down there on Papalucha, but Papalucha just getting away on that occasion. Lynch was just caught behind there, as were the other 4 or 5 Heidelberg players surrounding him. And nice work there by Papalucha to find himself in the right spot. Now the ball back in the middle, Jordan Canellis.
From the middle, it's Dyson who gets the clearance. It's a high one going up towards centre half forward.
Again.
It's Papalucha and Lynch in that contest. Lynch does very well, gets the ball, but tackled by Papalucha. Reinforcements come in the shape of Brad Miller, who handballs straight back to Papalucha, who goes inside the full 50. Little kick, Cloak off hands. Was he pushing the back? Umpire said no. Delbridge on ground level. Dorbola lays a big tackle, and umpire says give it to me. We'll have a ball up inside of the Bundoora forward 50.
Is that Miller down on the ground on the outer side? That could be yet another casualty there on the at ground level, but a chance at the moment for Bundoora as a swinging kick around the corner goes close. Moorcroft takes a magical mark there deep in the right forward pocket, and he slides a little ball into Cloak. Fantastic stuff there. It actually might be Mark Lynch who's injured there on the outer side as we get back to that injury, but brilliant effort there by Moorcroft just to size up the situation. He saw Cloak floating into space, and he's set him up for yet another scoring shot. Cloak to go for number 4 now.
Well, at the moment, just on that Mark Lynch injury, he looks all right. He's got up, he's on his feet, he's walking around, just wiping something off his face, so it might be a bit of a knock to the head from that one there in the contest with Papalucha, but he's up and he's all right now, Mark Lynch. As Cameron Cloak comes in on a 45-degree angle.
Cloaky for 4.
We're sitting right behind this one, so we've got a good angle of it. Swinging back, it's coming back. Cameron Cloak has number 4. and the Bundoora move out to 66-26. It's 10-6-66 to 3-8-26 Heidelburg.
And thank you, Jordan. Around the grounds in Division 2, Whittlesea 8-8-56. The Fitzroy Stars still holding a 7-point lead there, 9-9-63. Crossing over to Division 3, it is Watsonia 11-5-71. Thomastown 10-4-64. And here it is Bundoora now with a 40-point lead. They are 10 goals, 6-66. Heidelburg 3-8-26 back in the centre.
Dennis out of the ruck, gets it on the boot, but not as far as Mark Lynch, who comes barging through again. Looks like he's up and all right again. Finn goes head over the ball, gets it back as well. Did really well, McFinn, but it's a high one, and it's actually going towards Bundoora's goal as it bounces just at left half back, trying to keep it in there. Looks like it was Logie, but it just bounces over the boundary line.
Just on Cloak, for a big fella, he's got one of the, he's close to 200 centimetres. He's got one of the most wonderfully measured set shot approaches. He's extremely clinical when he gets the ball inside 40 metres.
Finn taps it down. Farley gets it though. Again, it's a high floating ball into the pocket. A good spot at the back there from Jared Smith, and he sees it over the boundary line here at Preston City Oval. Qualifying final for Division 1. Bundoora leading by 40 against Heidelberg.
It had to be a good fist there from Jared Smith, because it looked like Clokey was going to go for the one-handed carry against David Neitz, just pull that one in, but couldn't quite. And now Cloak going up in the ruck, gets it down towards Delbridge, and wrapped up straight away at the bottom of the pack was Murphy, and there's going to be yet another stoppage. Same position, Cloak will go up again.
Now, do you think Cameron will be kind enough to donate some of his goals to his brother?
Sammy doesn't like that one. As Murphy at the bottom of the pack on hands and knees, trying to get a handball out. Brunelli was surrounding, can't quite get his hands on it. It wasn't Brunelli, in fact, it was actually Lynch there at the back. And there'll be yet another stoppage. Third bounce in the same area. Cloak wins it down, tried to get it into the path of a teammate. Hands and knees, a lot of players around this footy. It's the contested ball has just gone up a notch here in the last minute or so. We're going to have our fourth stoppage within a couple of playing time seconds. As Cloak wins it down into the path of Farrelly, couldn't get his hands on it first. Heidelberg cleared their defensive area. Dennis, first one to it. He's able to tap it over the back only as far as Brunelli. And now it was Marshall at ground level. Brunelli going in hard again. Great effort to get the ball out to a teammate in Hodgkin. But Hodgkin's handball was wayward only as far as Carmuciano. Mitchell trying to paddle it forward to his own advantage. And he ends up getting back on it. Gets it to Dyson in tight. And the kick from Dyson had to be perfect. Wasn't quite. McFinn in the right spot. Right place, right time, McFinn. And the high ball is going to be no good. It's a 2-on-1. But Miller just slid in nicely between Barbero and Glower. He was able to take the mark just defensive side of centre. I thought it was a poor kick, but it ended up being a good one. Miller made it look all right. Ball now at half forward for Heidelberg. Dennis is able to tap it down into the direction of Mitchell. He was wrapped up behind the boot, as Lee said. Another ball as well is going to be in the hands of Healy, who's got the free kick on the wing.
I think Miller needed to be quicker with the kick, because Barbero wasn't in his defensive 50, and they needed to go over the top and exploit the space that they had in their forward line. So just a bit slow there from Miller as the ball's moved up now to left half forward. Houlihan takes the mark. He's got a few players on in the forward 50. One lead on in the pocket, but he decides to ignore it. A right foot kick now goes into the pocket, but further inboard as Miller flies for the mark. It hits the ground. Ryan's back there for Bundoora. Dennis, his kick was smothered off the boot. In the pocket, Nolan gets on the right boot, squares it up. Coming in from behind was Carl Lyon, who did really well to intercept on the last line of defence too. And he chips it over the top and finds Barbero on the run, who handballs inboard. And they go up now to right half back, Mamone. In a contest there with Jamie Allen. Jamie Allen wins it as well, spins out of trouble, but the handball was wayward. It goes straight to Glary, who bombs it up towards left half forward. A one-on-one contest now, Kennedy and Moorcroft. Kennedy gets it on the bounce, leads it well that time around, gets off to Murphy now in defence. He spins around right, Moorcroft hits the deck. He goes inboard now, finds Draper on here, centre half back, Heidelberg, who switches it now to Robbie Allen. Favren half back. Favren, he's got short on the wing, but he decides to go inboard to Healy, who takes a mark in front of Dennis. Still got Heidelberg now. Plenty of players inside the forward 50 now. They need a bit of movement. Healy goes into the pocket now, goes over the top. Favren takes a mark at left half forward. A bit too far out to score. He's 55 metres out from goal. He can't make the distance, he doesn't think. So he decides to square it up to centre half forward, and he finds a man standing all by himself there in Sean Logie. He's 55 metres out as well, and I don't think he has enough confidence to go back from this distance. Or
he's calling for it.
No, he decides to go short, finds a man inside the 450 again, and taking the mark this time is Reece Healy. and I think we've seen him go back and kick a few long goals.
Healy.
There's plenty of plays inside the forward 50 here. Decides to go long to the goal square. Hasn't got the carry. It doesn't. Punched off the goal line, and I think has it been kept in? It has. It's just staying inside for the moment. On hands and knees there. Michael Mitchell gets it back for Bundoora.
I thought
now it's gone out of bounds.
I thought the kick from Healy was going to carry. It looked like the one with Lord, but it just sat up in the wind as it doesn't at this end.
It was good play from Heidelburg initially, but Bundoora got so many players back in the forward 50, and you see how clogged up it was. Heidelburg had no one to go to inside the forward 50, and Bundoora now doing well to extract out of defence. They find a man in the middle of the ground. This is Mamone, who goes on the left foot, goes inside the forward 50. Moorcroft on the lead. It bounces too far ahead of him.
Oh, he left it out too.
Over the boundary line for a throw in left half forward. Around the grounds at Lee Moulton.
It is Whittlesea 8-10-58, Fitzroy Stars 9-10-63 in Division 2, and in Division 3 Watsonia 13-6-84, Thomastown 10-4-64.
So Finn and Dennis going at it. Third man up was Hodgkin, and it eventually comes back to Finn, back to Hodgkin. He was wrapped up by 2 balls straight away. There'll be yet another stoppage there on the outer side.
Braden Shaw back on for Bundoora, boys. He's just sitting in the pocket there, so a very potent forward line for Bundoora.
And of course next week on September 7 it will be the Division 3 Grand Final broadcast here on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. Panton Hill already in, Watsonia leading by about 20, looking to play them again in the Grand Final as Naboo handballs out wide and finds Harvey, who goes inboard and finds Jamie Allen now. Lots of run from Heidelberg, they need to be quick about it. Healy, he's on the run, goes with the right foot, finds Mark Lynch, who marks at left half forward. There's plenty of plays free inside the forward 50, a left foot kick finds Favren on the lead, who does really well. Again, he's 55 metres out, doesn't want to have a shot from here, looks inboard, needs to be quick about it, goes into the pocket on the lead. Oh, Barbera comes in from the side, puts in a great fist, and it sprawls over the boundary line, and there'll be a throw in the pocket. But Barbera, great effort.
He's just like a wrecking ball on a construction site, just going smash through everything. And the ruck's going at it again once more. Lerm has gone in to help out Dennis at ground level. Glowry has to off the ground. It's not going to reach a teammate. It's not going to reach an opponent either. Over the head of Trelaw and Papalucha in front of the Bulls bench for yet another throw in. It was a clever idea though.
It was. The Pap was nearly on there, wasn't he? And it was going to be a good one-on-one duel with Trelaw, but thrown in. The ball comes back in, I should say. It is Lerm winning the ball down there. Comes through. Here's the little Pap. Kicks into the forward line. He's got God. On the lead, that is.
That is Bulls magic right there. That is absolutely sensational. Lerm down to Papalucha, bursting out of the stoppage, and a sensational race-out ball to Braden Shaw, who can pop through his first goal of the day after having a little bit of a spell on the bench.
And I did hear correct there. You did say Bulls magic too. I just had to clean out the ears here. So the man I first played my first ever game of footy with, Shaw, is a sure thing as the Bulls get their 11th. They are 11-6-72. Heidelberg 3-8-26. It's just ticked over the 18-minute mark here in this third quarter. Jordan, what are your thoughts?
I reckon Phil Plunkett and James Lord are keen to get James Lord back on, because he hasn't got the tracksuit on, but he's being taped up at the moment on the boundary line. So in the hands of the trainers still, just tapping up that right leg that he had troubles with in the second term.
46 points up though, well, risk him.
True. Yeah, I don't know. Look, he's keen to come back on. He's got 2 goals for the day. Maybe wants a couple more. Who knows? Ball back in the middle of the ground. Lerm to do the ruck work against Brad Miller, who gets a big leap, but it taps down to Farrelly, who volleys it off the ground inside the forward 50. Cloak takes on the bounce. It hits his hands, goes back to ground again. In there, Cloak. It's a 2-on-1 contest in favour of Bundoora. Shaw and Cloak are there. Goes over the boundary line at right half forward. Drapac was just being hassled and harassed there by Cameron Cloak.
He'd be a nervous young Drapac if you had Shaw and Cloak on your back, just trying to barrel you out of bounds. As the ball is thrown back in, Miller doing the ruck work. He's able to get it towards Nolan. Nolan handball in the direction of Allen. That's Jamie Allen, but it rolls out in front of he and Papalucha. And
that goal from Braden Shaw there was Bundoora's 6th in a row. So Heidelberg have not troubled the scores in the last 6.
46-point ball game. Papalucha on the end of this ball flicks one out.
Wow.
That's a high one.
Gee,
that's a very high one, Dalbridge.
That was huge.
Blair Harvey, nothing untoward there, just a good old-fashioned footy hit, and rewarded with the free kick there for the head-high contact. Nothing malicious about it.
So Blair Harvey standing on the 50-metre arc, standing on the mark. Delbridge will kick, you'd think, from about 55 metres out. Is coming in. Not much of an angle to speak of. Plenty of a goal face to aim at.
Already got one today, young Kent Delbridge. He's done a pretty good job.
Kicks from about 53 metres out. It hooks to the left. And just one behind for Bundoora. So 11-7-73 for the Bulls. 3-8-26 for Heidelburg. It's been quite a while since they had their last goal, the Tigers.
43-point ball game, and this one is slipping out of the Bergs' hands as the minutes pass. Midway through this third quarter, they would want 1, 2, 3, 4 in a hurry, and it must start now. Mark Lynch it's Kennedy bring it out from fullback. It's a long ball in the direction of Smith. He's not going to get it, and then Glowry had a fresh area when he tried to pick it up, so the Tigers are away through Miller. Miller with a high kick up to half forward. Great position by Bundoora. He's such a strong unit back there, and he's got a couple of options. One is Michael Mitchell. He's got Farrelly further afield. Mitch Finn didn't see him. But he didn't decide to go there. That was a poor decision. Straight to Houlihan, and Houlihan he can move it now straight away. He gets it to a teammate, and that was Sargent. Sargent gave it over to Logie. Logie to Allen. Now they're moving about 70 metres out. High ball into the forward half. Almost the mark there from Favren. I think it might have been, but the free kick possibly paid. No, it's going to go back, is it? It is going to be Favren. No, it's going to go the other way. Favren possibly holding on. I thought it might have been a free kick to Favren because he was holding on to the jumper. They both got of each other. Pellizzolo almost run down there, and as a result, the kick was no good. Straight to Blair Harvey. Blair Harvey, little ball inside. Bang!
There we go.
Hits Reece Healy 30 metres out, slide angle.
I've been waiting for that.
This is what they needed. A little bit of precision football going forward, and Reece Healy with an opportunity to kick his first goal of the day, and they can't afford to miss too many more. They've missed a few in the first half. Let opportunities go begging. Only 3 goals so far for the day. They must get their fourth now.
I've been waiting for that. A lot of their build-up play has been fast in midfield but slow in the forward 50, and a lot of the time, once they go inside forward 50, they can't go any further because Bundoора's defence is too strong. But that was a quick lead from Healy, and he lines up now. Shot at goal. It's just fading to the left. Another behind for Heidelberg. That is their 9th of the day. It is 11-7-73 Bundoora to Heidelberg 3-9-27. And another disappointing result there for Heidelberg as Bundoora, a big kick out from fullback, Dennis out towards the wing. Dennis fighting hard for it on hands and knees. There's Harvey, but it comes out to Carline, who kicks up to centre half forward on the lead. Moorcroft drops the chest mark at the last moment, driving in Kennedy. But there'll be a free kick to Kennedy at centre half back for Heidelberg. And he's got options out wide if he wants.
Hard one for Moorcroft is at full extension. At full
he wants Dorbolo. Dorbolo has to take on the half volley. Coming in was Palazzolo. Brunelli's there for support. Handball over the top to Jamie Allen. He finds a man out wide in Hodgkin. Hodgkin goes on the left and finds a man at on centre wing, taking the mark, dropping the mark there. Chaz Sargent. Getting players around the ball. Bundoora. Farrelly's in there, but he around one. A handball over the top to Robbie Allen. Has to go back to get it again. Puts it on the right. Goes inside the forward 50. Taking the mark is Jamie Allen. Looks like he wants to go further up as well. He finds a man over the top. Lynch on the lead. And Heidelberg, now they're getting the hang of it. Now Lynch goes on the left. It was a low kick. A poor result. Heidelberg, that was kicked, a very low grabbing kick, and just spoiled over the boundary, over the goal line. Heidelberg 10 behind, now 3-10-28, trailing Bundoora at 73.
Wasted opportunities, we've said it many times, it will cost you in finals. They will put you to the sword. A good team like the Bulls, if you waste your chances. And now moving out of fullback, it's Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan's able to slide a little ball over to a teammate. He kicks it long in the direction of Shaw. He's in a 2-on-1. Heidelberg got the numbers here. Dorbolo and Lynch. Dorbolo's able to get it over to Nolan. Nolan with space through the middle. He's going to possibly get it back here. No, Hodgkin feigns away from giving the handball back to Nolan. He gives it over to Murphy, who's just fumbled a little bit there on the outer side. Probably should have taken that mark cleanly, but he's able to mop up and slide a little ball back into Nolan. In the middle of the ground, he goes across to our commentary stand side of the ground on the left-hand side at half-back. It is Drapak, and he slides one up to Miller, but the kick did not favour him much. Matty Dennis getting in front and then banging a beautiful long ball to Braden Shaw, all on his own half-forward. He's got a man inside. I think that's Delbridge. Kent Delbridge taking a mark again. He's got 1-1 so far today. His last kick just faded to the left. He could go for it again. He's got the wind behind him. Delbridge goes bang. He goes bang and he kicks a goal. Kent Delbridge has got 2 and the Bulls may be through to play Montmorency. Unbelievable stuff here at the Preston City Oval in the first week of the Div 1 finals.
It's disappointing for Heidelberg, it really is. Look, as good as it is for Bundoora and as well as they've been playing today, Heidelberg, they've really they've really stepped it up this third quarter. They've upped the ante. the tempo of footy's been a lot higher. They're playing it very fast with the midfield, but a lot of the results going inside the forward 50 is so disappointing. And whether that's just Heidelburg, well, it's a mixture of Heidelberg being rushing it too much and Bundoора's defence being too good. But they've had a lot more opportunities, and they could have been, 13 goal scoring opportunities and a few out of bounds on the Fulls as well, and it's 3-10-28 at the moment for Heidelberg. So disappointing for Heidelberg at the moment, as Carline now in the midfield for Bundoora. On hands and knees, tries to get it back for the balls, and it gets a free kick as well. So a little handball at the back front's Dave Mitchell, who takes a bounce. He's going to get away from Jamie Allen here. He goes inside the forward 50, Cloak on the lead, but getting in front there was Justin Murphy. He took a really good mark in front of the man there, and Justin Murphy's just going to slow it down here in defence and just take his time and find the correct option to kick to.
Another one that needs to lift, 51 points down. If they are to salvage anything, it must start now for the Bergs.
So Murphy kicked it to Nolan, deep in the back pocket there for the Heidelberg Tigers. He's looking there for DeBolo, and great pressure there from the little Pap coming over and forcing the ball over the boundary line. Been tracking just on 26 minutes here. It is a 51-point lead to the Bulls. They look to be going ahead to next Saturday, playing the Montmorency. Big man there, Dennis, wins it down. Nolan, tackled by Dyson. Dennis again, slaps it on the boot. Here's Moorcroft! No, that was a big fly you heard, and I just got a little bit excited, but it went through for a behind. So Bundoora now 12-8-80, Heidelberg 3-10-28, and it was actually a free kick push in the back, so no points scored there. The margin still 51 points.
So ball in the right back pocket for Heidelberg in the hands of Justin Murphy. And he's looking for options further afield, and as it has been for much of the day, very stagnant as the siren goes here for three-quarter time. And what an effort by the Bulls. They were outstanding in the first half, and they have put the Bergs to the sword here in the third quarter. It is a 51-point ball game here at three-quarter time, and all hope looks lost for Heidelberg.
Well, it was a great quarter. I mean, a fantastic quarter of footy for Bundoora. How many goals was it? They put on 5 goals in that quarter alone, and fantastic footy from Bundoora all around, and they managed to get up in the forward line. Cloak kicked a couple. Papaluka did really well. Del Bridge did very well. Kicked 2 in that quarter. Fantastic quarter of footy for Bundoora, but in saying that, Heidelberg were very disappointing. As I said just a few moments ago, they really stepped it up. Their midfield was playing very well. Nolan was getting in there. Jamie Allen stepped it up. Dorbolo had a lot of the footy as well. Healy had a lot of the footy, and they were moving really well through the midfield and through defence. They were able to get it from defence and midfield and move it really, really fast amongst their players.
And lowered the eyes occasionally.
And once they got anywhere near the forward 50, Bundoora just flooded the defence. They manned up one-on-one. They chucked a few loose men back as well, and sitting around the 50-metre arc just out, 60 metres from goal Heidelberg, and trying to go inside the forward 50, it's near on impossible because you've got so many players inside from Bundoora. It's hard to find a gap, and you can't pierce the forward 50.
And also, I thought the 6 or 7 missed shots may have contributed to the lead that Bundoora have as we throw over to Lee Moulton for round the ground scores.
It is all tied up in Division 2, 11-10, 76 apiece. Whittlesea and the Fitzroy Stars there, nothing separating them. And in Division 3, Watsonia with a 22-point lead. They are 14-9-93, Thomastown 12-5-77. Here at Preston City Oval, it is Bundoora 12-7-79, Heidelberg 3-10-28, a 51-point lead here to the Bulls. We'll be back after this short break. You're listening to Plenty Valley FM's Match of the Day on your local station.
88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
Welcome back to your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. We're here at the Preston City Oval for Division 1 qualifying final for the NFL Match of the Day. It is Bundoora taking on Heidelberg here, and at three-quarter time, it is Bundoora leading comfortably, 12-7-79 to Heidelberg, 3-10-28. The goal scorers so far from Bundoora: Cameron Cloak has kicked 4 goals, Ken Delbridge kicked 2 goals in that third quarter, and James Lord had 2 goals in the first half as well. Singles for Gary Moorcroft, Salvatore Mamone, Braden Shaw and Adrian Papaluka. As for Heidelberg, all single goal scorers, just 3, Chaz Sargent, George Naboo and Mark Favren. Tommy Flanagan is in the commentary box with me. Lee Morton will join us in just a few moments. Jordan Canellis here as well. But Tommy Flanagan, your thoughts from that third quarter? It was a good quarter of footy for Bundoora, a bit disappointing for Heidelburg, but what were some things you took away from that one?
My overriding thoughts are that the back six of Bundoora is just about as strong as any team in the NFL. I love Barbero's work for 3 quarters. He's just been sensational. Neil Glowry's given him great support back there. I think just as a back six they've worked brilliantly well there. Benny Shelton's run as well has been outstanding and well noted. Ricky Dawson off half back, and also Mick Farrelly using the ball beautifully. Through the middle, Mitchell, Carmuciano, Matty Dennis, they've set the world on fire today in these first 3 quarters and haven't given Heidelberg a chance here. I've got big names in there. Jamie Allen got him in from the Wang Rovers, got Chaz Sargent in from Lavington. They've got the big names Miller and Murphy and Sinclair, but they haven't been able to win the ball. It's been Carmuciano and Palazzolo and Braden Shaw when he's been out there. Matty Dennis and Lerm have been sensational in the ruck. Mick Finn's tried his heart out, but wouldn't it be handy if Heidelberg had to help out Mick Finn, maybe a Saul Caddy or a Dale Nolan, Benny Cosgriff, Mickey Gay, any one of those blokes would help out massively structurally. But as it sits at the moment, I see it almost impossible for them to get back into this.
Well, we saw Saul Caddy retire at the end of last season, so Dale Nolan really is the man up there that they rely on quite heavily, and Caleb Tiller as well, who was omitted from today's side and was playing in the reserves. But just another forward up in the forward line. I mean, they've got guys who are playing well, making leads, guys like Sargent and Shalor who's doing okay. He didn't really have a big third quarter. Healy as well, but they're second and third forwards, aren't they? You need a big forward up there. You need someone like Dale Nolan, because it's too easy at the moment. You got someone like Barbero playing on. So we got Glowry playing on Sargent at the moment.
Barbero, Shelton, Glowry, Marshall, Dawson. It's impenetrable.
It's too easy. It's too easy for Bundoora. Someone like Benny Cosgriff as well might have felt in the first half when you had Cameron Cloak taking about 5 contested marks in the forward 50. It's these guys, it's these types of guys that you need, and Heidelberg, looking on paper before the game started, I really thought Bundoora we're gonna give it to Heidelberg, and it's turning out to be reality. Even though I don't like that to happen, I like to see a close game, but yeah, Bundoora well on top at the moment.
You were saying before the break, we were just talking about. You had something you were saying. I forget that. Sorry, just lost my train of thought. Sorry about that, everyone. All the listeners out there.
So the players are getting back into position.
We know what you're on about, mate. and I totally agree with everything that you were trying to say.
The last few people are making their way off the ground. It is 12-7-79 Bundoora. Heidelberg 3-10-28. Can Heidelberg do something here in the last quarter and kick a few goals to salvage something? But like Bundoora going to take on.
Boys, just got the word from Dr. Samuel Zito that it is a potential groin to Shaw. Even though he hasn't been playing.
Even though he was playing in that third quarter.
That third quarter, yes, and he did kick a goal, but powerful man up forward, and taking us away in the fourth quarter is Tommy Flanagan.
And Mick Finn wins down the first tap ahead of Dennis, but it rebounded back a little bit of pinball to Brent Marshall, and now Palazzolo is able to release Dennis. He's a big long kick, he gets it long and deep in the Moorcroft direction. Now Papalucha he spins around one, he spins around two, he goes with the right foot deep inside, and good positioning there at the back by I think it was Smith, and he releases his teammate on the outer side.
Coming up on the near side of the ground, Hodgkin, the ball goes through his hands and it finds Carmuciano, who goes back inside the forward 50, taking the mark there at the back flank was Houlihan, who tries to rule around his opponent. The handball straight back to Matt Dennis. The World Trophy medalist goes inside the forward 50, but standing back on the last line of defence was Jared Smith for Heidelberg, and he can play out of defence. Coming out on the near side, he's got Finn again, who's up against Dennis. It goes through both of their hands, but a free kick has been paid to Bundoora, and it will go to Dennis, who goes inboard again to Carmuciano, who's had a good game, who goes long inside the forward 50, out the back, Moorcroft, they all fall to ground, but a free kick has been paid, and it will go, we think, to Bundoora. And so Moorcroft will get the free kick, and he's not too far out to score. This will be an easy goal for him.
What you were saying before three-quarter time is they moved the ball a little bit better, Heidelberg, in that third term when they lowered the eyes a little bit, but weren't able to convert. That's what I was going to say. When they got their opportunities, they weren't able to convert. They had plenty of set shots in that third term after they did lower their eyes, as Jordan said, and move the ball better, but they couldn't put them away, and that's why they find themselves 51 points down. And if Gary Moorcroft puts through what would be his second goal of the day, it'll be a 57-point margin, and they'd have to kick 10 unanswered goals in this last quarter of the Bergs And Moorcroft is not going to squeeze that one home for a goal. It's just a 52-point ball game.
So 12-8-80. Bundoora plays Heidelburg 3-10-28, and from fullback, it looks like it's going to be, as I get my binoculars up, it will be Justin Murphy from fullback. So playing down in defence in the second half of footy. We saw him up in the forward line in the first half and didn't really do much, so they've put him back where he's most comfortable in defence.
So Murphy kicks long. That is a beautiful kick. Nearly hits the centre square, but it was Dennis. Got it down to Delbridge, gave a little handball back there to Carline, and here's found Dyson right in front of the Heidelberg bench, who kicks out to no one in particular there. Marshall was on hands and knees, got pushed over it, and Heidelberg here looking to clear Healy, but some great defensive pressure there from Bundoora. We'll see the ball thrown in right on the 50-metre arc here, travelling 2.5 minutes in this final term.
So Ruck's going at it. Farrelly just stole it out of the ruck and booted a high ball into the forward half. Blair Harvey read it very nicely. He was able to take the mark about 35 metres out from his defensive goal, and he switches the ball to the outer side. A long ball trying to find his man in Sargent, but the ball's picked up there by Dave Mitchell after Sargent spilled. He's able to use the handball to find it was Dyson, and he got it further to Barbero, kicked it long inside the forward half, trying to pick it up at ground level is Marshall. Marshall wants to get a handball out to Palazzolo, and I think he's got the free kick here. Might have just copped one high here, Marshall. Probably too far out to score, about 55 metres out.
Got him.
So he pops Matty Dennis one in the pocket, and he's able to line up for what would be Matty Dennis's first goal of the day.
So Dennis will line up similar to where Gary Moorcroft was just a few moments ago. He's on a 45-degree angle, will kick from about 45 metres as well. And as Tommy said, first goal of the day for Matt Dennis if he puts it through. Braden Shaw's just walking around on the bench as well. We must note for Bundoora as Dennis kicks it into the man on the mark. Marshall's out at the full but can't take it. Heidelberg get it back out of defence, and there's plenty of run here for the Tigers. A big kick finds Kennedy, who's playing up on the half-forward line. Ryan's there as well in the race for it here. Ryan Kennedy gets in front of his man, paddles it to himself, tries to get around Carline, but getting back too easy. Carmuciano has it on the outer side, takes a bounce, running up along the wing, now decides to touch it on the ground. Just stops on his in his tracks and goes over the top, tries to find a man there in Dave Mitchell, but getting it back was Houlihan, who handballs it straight into Marshall, taking over the boundary line for a throw-in right half forward for the Bulls.
He's been great today, Carmuciano. He just plays to his strengths. He's a really good inside player. Didn't have any options there, so he just kicked the ball to touch, and that's the perfect thing to do in that situation, and he's been doing that all afternoon and all year.
Ball thrown back in here, tracking it down. Blair Harvey just keeps it in with a little tap. Goes up to Naboo. Naboo goes to Harvey again. This is a high one now. Still at centre wing. Miller flies on the back. And
that's against... no, it is. He's won it.
So play on advantage now. Heidelberg going inside the forward 50. A long shot from 50. It's a high one. It's fading out to the left. It's gone out for one behind. So Heidelberg now have 3-11-29 to Bundoora 12-8-80.
And
Hodgkin on that occasion with the behind.
And that's the big Schultz. Ben Shelton bringing it back in, kicks long, looking in the direction. No, it is a free kick. Yeah,
Glary.
Yes, the big man Glary, the man who's Sam potentially could be on the far side of his career. So Heidelberg here with a kick in board, looking for Kennedy.
Good mark.
That's just great use of the body.
Sensation.
Well, in this last quarter, we've seen both teams move a lot of their players around, and we've got Kennedy up in the forward line for Heidelberg. We've got Marshall up in the forward line now for Bundoora. So just resting up a few of their players. Player management at this part of the game.
He liked it too, Kennedy. I just saw him on the screen having a bit of a chuckle with his direct opponent, and that is Ryan. And he pops it through Kennedy. Much needed goal for Heidelberg. It may be too little too late, but he gets his first of the day.
Well, that's their first goal since the early stages of the second quarter. They didn't kick one at all in the third term, and they only kicked 3 behinds that quarter. So Kennedy gets the first one for about an hour and a bit of footy for Heidelberg. So
the day. Matter of fact, I don't think they've kicked one at the Preston Market end today. At all. So they've really struggled at that end. Back in the centre now it is Dennis and Finn. Ended up with Finn, who tried to get it off to Miller there, but it's ended up in the hands of Dyson. Here is Mark Lynch, handles off to Logie, puts it on the right. It's a long kick, it's going and goalward, but it slips through for behind. So Heidelberg, that's an all familiar phrase today, through for another behind. 4-2-12. Bundoora 12-8-80.
Shelton finds Michael Mitchell in the back pocket, who chips up and finds Ryan at left half back. He's got a few short options if you want. Palazzolo, he goes there, but Palazzolo had to take it on the half volley. Coming in was Galari. Handballs off to a teammate in Carmuciano, who ducks one and handballs out wide as well. Goes up now to find a man and a kick up the wing to Delbridge. Taps off hands. Healy gets it off his teammate there. Off to Finn now, who goes in broad but intercepted from Farrelly. He's been great all day. Takes a bounce. He's going to get chased down here by Jamie Owen and gets a handball off just in time. Papaluka barging through two players. Getting it back though, Heidelburg. Jamie Owen at half back. Handballs off to a teammate there and they clear from defence. Going up to centre half forward, Heidelburg at the back in the boo. Gets a fist onto a teammate there. Running onto it here is Michael Mitchell for Bundoora, who gets back in front of Naboo. Still applying pressure Naboo. Michael Mitchell, handball over the top. Trelaw taps it behind his head. Getting it onto Lynch. Tackled in the hot spot there and there'll be a ball up. Probably a poor option in the end from Trelaw, who just tapped it over the back of his head to no one in particular. Could have just taken it double-handed. Lee Malden.
Around the grounds in Division 2, Fitzroy Stars 14-13-97. Whittlesea 12-10-82.
As the frog in the throat just catches Lee Malden off guard. The ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in at right half forward for Bundoora. And if we got the... I'm taking the drinks back now, so we'll come back to the around the ground scores in just a moment as the ball's thrown back in from Matty Dennis. On the snap, Hodgkin goes with the barrel. Oh, it's gone through. Hodgkin, a fantastic goal, just took it out of the pack, put it on the boot, and it barreled through for a goal. So Heidelburg now have 2 goals in this last quarter. Is Bundoora still leading 12-8-80 to Heidelburg 5-12-42. Lee Malden back on the air.
I am, and my voice is just broken. And what's only a 14-9-93. Thomastown kicked back here. It's only a 4-point margin for 14-5-89.
Ooh, very close game.
It is, and even the Fitzroy Stars Whittlesea, clearly a bit of wind having an effect here because they've been going back and forth, but the Stars holding a 15-point lead over the Eagles.
So the ball back in the middle of the ground here after that Hodgkin goal from Heidelburg here at Preston City Oval. Flying in the ruck was Finn, who taps it down. Getting it on the car line, goes to Dennis. Dennis wrapped in a tackle by Finn, and holding the ball as well. Finn gets the free kick in the centre of the ground. Who handballs off now to a teammate. A big barrel kick. That's a huge barrel. Wow. Going into the goal square.
Over the line.
Bounce through, but over for one behind. That was huge. I think, who was that? I think it might have been Healy from the middle of the ground who just absolutely torped that one. That was massive. Bundoora from fullback will have it through Ben Shelton.
Benny Shelton. He's been very serviceable today, Shelton. And watch Aquilina here coming in. Could be a potential loose play, but they've gone out the other side of the ground looking in the direction of Dennis. He just fed it down, but it only went as far as Harvey for Heidelberg. Coming through there was Marshall. Good smother there by Trelaw. Heidelberg on the attack. Bundoora on the attack now. I've mixed up my ends. Coming through there is the big man Delbridge, or the little man who's taken over the Jimmy Lord injury. Brunelli mopping up there for Heidelberg. Off to Murphy, and Murphy's kicked down the line there and found a teammate right on the wing. Miller.
And Miller slides a little ball to half forward. Good spoil there to get the ball out of bounds there. It was going to be straight in the hands of Blair Harvey, but I think it was a really good effort there by Michael Ryan to get it out of bounds. Great fist there, and the ball now on the outer side. Dennis and Finn. Finn won it down, not to the advantage of any of his teammates. Carmuciano working hard to get it back to Michael Mitchell. High up and under ball in the direction of Dyson. Used his body well to get into the good position, and then a left foot ball up to half forward. And a good mark taken there by Delbridge, who's been fantastic today. And he kicks it deep inside the forward half. Cloak's taken another mark. About 38 metres out. He'll kick it from 40, but he chips over the top. He sees a teammate. Probably should have gone back and had the shot. Give one of his friends an assist. He gets it back, and then they can ruffle it in the goal square, and Gary Moorcroft is able to pop through his second of the day. I don't know what he was thinking there. He probably should have gone back from 35 metres out and slotted it, but he thought better of it, and he thought he'd just handball around a little bit and get it to Gary. It didn't matter. And he's kicked his second of the day.
They had the numbers though. They had Moorcroft, Mamone, Cloak, all up in the forward line. Papaluka as well. Just an absolute array of options up in the forward 50.
He could have had 7 or 8 today, Cloak. He's only got the 4 straight, but he's given off a couple, and he's looked highly impressive from start to finish.
Back in the middle, Lynch from the middle. clears it up into the forward line for Heidelberg. Taking it is Kennedy. To Hodgkin. Hodgkin can have his second goal here if he really wants. He's just hooked it out to the right. And there'll be one behind for Heidelberg. That's their 14th behind of the day. 5-14-44. Bundoora 12-8-80. Sorry, 13-8-86.
Fitzroy Stars holding a 27-point lead now against Whittlesea. You would say that would be a game over. Little man Brent Marshall kicking long in the Dennis direction. Had 2 to beat. Heidelberg have won the ball back down here. Great tap onto Kennedy. And look at that. That is going through. Right through the eye of the needle. He's kicked Heidelberg's third of the quarter. They go to 6 goals, 14-50, and Bundoora now are 14-8-86. It's 13-8-86, my apologies there, and great goal from Kennedy.
So a reshuffling of the deck chairs all of a sudden sees Sinclair, Kennedy and Miller all in the forward half, and possibly that should have happened a little bit earlier.
Pretty much just swapped all the defenders for the forwards, and it's worked out to be pretty good. As the ball's moved back into the middle of the ground. 86 plays 50 here at Preston City Oval. Qualifying final. Bundoora and Heidelberg. Bundoora looking likely to take on Montmorency next week. Heidelberg, of course, will take on the winner of Eltham and Northcote Park tomorrow as Finn clears out of the midfield. Sinclair caught in a tackle. Ball drops down to Carl Lyon, who gets it off to Mitchell now. Michael Mitchell, that is, off to Carl Musciano at right half back. Goes up the line and just finds Dyson, who was standing on the spot. Didn't have to move and took the chest mark. Dyson goes up now to right half forward. Underneath this one is Drapack, who takes a good mark for Heidelberg at left half back. Heidelberg have it. He's got Robbie Owen in the middle. Decides to go a little bit shorter to Finn instead. Finn gets around on the right boot. Goes up to right half forward now. Plenty of run. He's put it out in front of Sinclair. Sinclair's going to contest one-on-one. Dennis bounces over his head. Dennis is in there. Plenty of run from Big Dennis. Glowry gets around one. Handballs on to Mamone. Mamone has been great all day. A little handball off to Mitchell. Back to Mamone. Up along the wing here. A kick up the line from Mamone. Left forward flank. Over the back. Walkoff just gets under his opponent. He can run onto it here. Heidelberg defenders come in low first. And a little handball off to Justin Murphy. Again a handball onto Dorbollo. Heidelberg clear the defensive 50. It's going close towards the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick on the centre wing for Bundoora.
And in Division 2, it looks like it's all wrapped up. A 33-point lead now to the Fitzroy Stars. 17-13, 1-15. Whittlesea 12-10, 82. Division 3, it is still only 4 points the margin. Watsonian 93, Thomastown 89.
So now Heidelberg with the footy at half back. High kick from Miller, gets it to half forward. Glowry the only one there. Sinclair working hard to try and get involved in the contest, but Glowry's got Michael Mitchell and Matty Dennis over the top. He goes for Mitchell and then back to Glowry, and then Glowry chips into, switches it across the back line and finds Carmuciano. He's been one of the best on ground. He'll be in contention for the Narellan Pools Player of the Day here. Andrew Carmuciano, and he kicks long and high up and under in the direction of Dennis. He's able to half volley it down to himself, and then a little bit of soccer tricks there from Papalucha. He couldn't release thoroughly, but there was a little bit of magic there on the back flank there for the Bulls.
Pardon me, so Fitzroy looking likely to win today's game, which means they'll be the first team in the Division 2 Grand Final, which will be broadcast here on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM on September the 14th, so mark that in your calendars as Dave Mitchell gets it back at left half back for Bundoora. Handballs inboard to Papaluca, who goes up to centre half forward, finds He takes a good mark out in the lead. He's a bit far to score though, 60 metres from goal. Starts to load up on the right. Has he got the distance? No. It's going to go to the hot spot. Great mark from Shaw. A fantastic mark at the hot spot, and he's going to go back and kick for his second goal of the day.
Magical grab. 3 or 4 deep. Just a bit of experience getting to the front of the contest and sticking the hands up at the right time. Good, well-timed jump. Got his opponent out of the way and thoroughly deserves this set shot on goal. This would be his second for the day and would just about seal it, you would think. Oh, he's hit the post.
So Bundoora 13-9-87 to Heidelberg 6-14-50.
They need 7 on the trot now, Heidelberg.
But we're almost closing down now to full time, so not too much time left for Heidelberg to do the miraculous, as they have it here at full back with, I think that's Justin Murphy. He goes out wide, finds a man on the outer side. Brunelli can't take the mark. It's 2 against 1 in favour of Bundoora, but the boundary line beats them all. Throw in now at left half back for Heidelberg.
So the rucks to go at it again. It's Lerm going up by himself on that occasion. He just belted it forward, only into the path of Lynch though. Lynch just takes it out over the boundary line. Probably could have kept it in, had a couple of numbers around him, decided not to.
Hasn't seen much of Lerm since the first half. It's been Dennis doing all the ruck work for Bundoora, so maybe a few niggling injuries for Lerm. We know he's been in and out of the team in the past couple of weeks as Heidelburg get it again through Healy, who's going to take a bounce now, running through midfield. He's coming off the centre half forward. A right foot kick going inside the forward 50. All Bundoora players back though. Shelton will probably get it just before the boundary line. Actually, Heidelberg's kept it in. A little centering kick into Kennedy, who didn't take it the first time around, and had to be clean. It is Bundoora who get it again through a defensive 50 there, and Glary at left half back now, just exiting for Bundoora. Finds a man on the outer side. Papaluka now goes to the right foot inboard to Dennis. Murphy's on his tail, but Dennis makes a good mark. A little kick over to Mamone at left half forward. Mamone's going to run inside the forward 50. One bounce. He's taking a second bounce. Running into the pocket. Left foot kick. It's kept low. It's kept low. Good spoil row from Brunelli to rush the behind.
Oh, they're just checking. They're just checking.
Was it over the line? Was it not? What are the umpires going to say?
DRS.
It is a behind. It is one behind. Hit the post, in fact. Umpire signal it hit the post. So a little fist onto the post there, and one behind for Bundoora. They move out to 88 to 50.
Heidelberg have brought the ball back in and found Justin Murphy at centre half back. Kicks out. He's got a man on the lead there in Trelaw. Turns round, kicks it on the inside of his right boot. Glory coming in, big fist there over for Bundoora, and mopping up was his teammate in Carline, who's let it dribble over in the forward pocket at the City end. It is a 38-point margin here at Preston City Oval, and the Fitzroy Stars here are 39 points up. It is 19-14, 128, 13-11, 89, Whittlesea.
Amazing effort by the Stars, and ball still in tight here. Handball from Lynch, and a snap around the corner from Sargent has just missed to the left. Again, too many of those so far today. 6 goals, 15-51 Heidelberg. They will want to remedy that before next week's crunch clash with either Northcote Park or Eltham. We'll find out which of those two sides will be playing Heidelberg next week after tomorrow's NFL match of the day, right here on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
Of course, very nicely done there. Tommy Flanagan with the plug. We'll be on at 2 p.m. tomorrow as the ball moves out now to Glary on the outer side for Bundoora. Just being hassled and harassed there by the Heidelberg player in Robbie Allen, who's on the ground but up and about again. Robbie Allen has the free kick, a little chip over the top in the path of Harvey. Has to run onto it here. Harvey, the old legs keeping him going still. A right foot kick goes inside the forward 50 for Heidelberg. At the back, a good mark taken there from Mark Favren, who's going to go back and kick 45-degree angle, 40 metres out for his second goal of the day.
Just the one goal, but he's been creative, probably the number one forward down there today, Favren, so he's tried his best. Heidelberg won't get the chocolates in the end, but I think he was fantastic with his effort in the first half, even though he hasn't hit the scoreboard more than once, but now he has. His second goal, Mark Favren's got 2. Heidelberg move a little bit closer, but they're not going to be close enough to win this one.
Scores now 13-10, 88, Heidelberg 7-15, 57, and the ball's going to go back in the middle of the ground here, but we are heading up to the end of the game, boys, and of course, as we do every week, Narelle pulls player of the day for the best on the ground contenders from you guys.
Well, there's a few. I think Dave Mitchell, Nick Farrelly, Andrew Carmuciano, Matty Dennis, Trent Barbero, Kent Delbridge, they've all been fantastic today, I think.
Ball thrown up again, Lerm to do the ruck work, taps it down, goes out to Harvey, he shrugs the Mitchell tackle, right to Lynch, good movement from Heidelberg. Lynch on the left, goes in the forward 50, Kennedy took a really good mark against Barbero as well. We know Barbero is one of the better one-on-one defenders, but Kennedy did well to outmuscle him. He's going to go back and kick from about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle for his second goal of the day, I believe. Second goal. Third, yep.
It's his third of this quarter too, it could be.
It's been impressive. The late move of Kennedy to the forward half has proved to be semi-successful, and not on that occasion though, just fading it to the right, one behind. 2 goals, 1 for the day for Jason Kennedy.
So kicking out from full back for Bundoora. With full time just around the corner, Benny Shelton. He's got Papaluka short if he wants, but he's just going to go out to the outer side instead, to the contest. Dennis underneath it. Players fly, big fist out the back. Healy gets it back inside the 40-50. Finds a man by himself. Brad Miller takes the mark. He's got it about 40 metres out. Again, not too much of an angle to speak of. 20 degrees maybe. Just going to spice things up there. 19.5.
Perhaps just slightly under the temperature out there today. Is Ricky Dyson's got some interesting tape on that shoulder just walking past in front of us, and also some bright, leery green boots, but they've done the job today. Brad Miller comes in, goal umpire doesn't move. Heidelburg have kicked their 5th of the quarter. They are now 8 goals, 16-64. Bundoora are 13-10-88. It is a 24-point ball game here, and we've just ticked over. We're about to tick over 22 minutes in the final term. I think it is a little bit too late for a Heidelberg comeback. What are your thoughts?
Well, Lee Matthews always said more goals than minutes, and you're no chance. But if there's more than 4 minutes to go, by Lee Matthews is thinking, and I'll trust him, there's still a chance, still half a chance they can get a run on here late in the day.
There's been quite a few goals, 6 for the term, so probably a bit of time on you'd expect. If 22 minutes gone, you'd probably think it's a 26, 27-minute quarter. So if they can do it, there's
blood rule.
About 4 goals down.
And it is, looks like, is it Logie coming off?
No, it's Drapac. Drapac coming off for Heidelberg, and another interchange as well being made. So 2 guys off, 2 guys on for Heidelberg. Robbie Allen comes on, as does Mark Lynch, who's been good all day as well. Another, probably Nerellan Pool's player of the day, even in the losing team. Mark Lynch for Heidelberg as the ball thrown up again in the middle of the ground. A big fist forward from Finn, who goes towards left half forward now. Miller getting down on ground level, gets it off to a teammate.
They got it.
A good intercept mark in defence for Bundoora.
It's been great all day.
Move it out wide now and finds finds Shelton at right half back. Just slowing it down again. Doesn't want to use up too much energy now ahead of their big game next week against Montmorency. Another big mark taken by Dennis out wide. Right half back Matt Dennis goes with a little kick up to Cloak, who just goes through his hands. Out the back, Robbie Allen dives over the ball, over the boundary line, centre wing for a throw in.
Once again, a little bit of pressure there from Sal Mamone. He's been fantastic today, locking the ball in the forward half for the Bulls there, and on that occasion, almost a chance for Heidelberg to run away, but Mamone just trapping the ball, getting it out of bounds.
Cleared out of the stoppage there, taking a mark at right half forward now. Heidelberg going back inside the forward 50, a kick over the top into the path of Kennedy. In fact, it over his head. Palazzolo getting back and spoils it over the boundary, over the goal line for one rush behind.
It's not actually going to be paid because the man who rushed the behind was pushed in the back. That was Carmuciano, and he's going to get a free kick right on the defensive goal line here. Would have been a handy point too had Heidelberg possibly got back into the game.
Around the grounds in Division 3, Watsonia 16-13-109, leading Thomastown 14-6-90. That one could be close to being over there. Watsonia look to be meeting who they played last week, Panton Hill, in the Division 3 Grand Final, which will be broadcast live here on your local station. Plenty Valley FM match of the day next Saturday.
Favren on hands and knees, gets it out, but Farrelly intercepts, gets around a man. That man was Mark Lynch. He goes up the line, Farrelly, but I think that was intercepted there, smothered over the boundary line, so a throw in at left half forward.
And the Stars, 21-15, 141. Whittlesea haven't scored a goal since we last mentioned this game, 13-11-89.
It's unbelievable.
It is a 52-point margin there.
Very unlike Whittlesea, as the kick inside the forward 50 was smothered off the boot, getting it back there. Heidelberg getting on hands and knees. Bundoora in there as well. Kick goes up towards the wing. Justin Murphy's in there, gets it back the second time around. Nice and clean there from Justin Murphy. He's got Logan in the middle if he wants. Decides to go a little bit short to Hodgkin, who's been all right today. Goes out to Robbie Allen, who goes in the middle of the ground and finds Trelaw, who's had a quiet day by his standards. He goes further inside the forward 50. Kennedy on the lead, out of the goal square. Great lead from Kennedy, and he's taken a few big marks in the forward 50 in this last term.
If I can just go to the Whittlesea game, guys, do you think that Peter Bugden, the coach, announcing that he won't be going on next year, do you think that may have had a bit of an effect on, or an impact, on the players?
Possibly, but I think Whittlesea is one of the better teams in the Northern Football League. So as Kennedy comes in and he's through that one, so he's got 4 for the day, 3 for the day. Jason Kennedy. Heidelberg bringing it back now to 9-16-70, trailing Bundoora by 18 points, 13-10-88. But I'm not sure. I think Fitzroy are just a very good side in finals, and I do believe they are a fantastic finals team. I don't think a coach announcing that he's going to leave affects the player too much. It probably, if anything, will make him play better to pump him up a bit. Pump him up, yeah. Get a few wins in the last few games for the coach.
Didn't work today though, as Finn wins down the tap to Healy, gets it over to Logie. Logie with a left foot snap deep inside the forward 50. In pursuit of the ball is Sargent. Also Kennedy flicks it onto Sargent. Sargent around the corner. He couldn't get enough purchase on it. Glowry at the back. Very well done. Evades Favren. Gives a little handball over to Carline. Gets it back. And Glowry just slowing things down the back pocket. Gets it over to Shelton. Almost dropped the mark, but it was able to eventually complete it in front of Blair Harvey. And he's just slowing things down in the back half.
So Schultz, the number 1 defender for Bundoora, kicks long down the line in the Dennis direction, and that's an oof. Out on the full.
Is that a couple of them, Sheldon?
It's you can say it is the norm for a backman, but Mark Lynch there trying to take the advantage and play on, but he's been called back. Handballs back in board to Healy. Runs about 10, kicks long. He's looking for Kennedy. He's glorious. Oh, over the top, is it going? Oh, it's hit the post. It could have been game on there. We have gone 27 minutes here, but it's a 17-point margin. You think Heidelburg have just left their run too late, surely kicked themselves out of it by not kicking any goals at the Preston Market end today.
Yeah, that went through. That was a 2-goal game.
You wouldn't think they could pull off a miracle, but just seeing that one almost sneak through, as you just said there, that would have given them. Now they might get another one here if they can.
Sarge.
A couple of quick goals in succession. Sargent has a chance here.
7-point play. They've got the handy point as well. So if they manage to kick those 3 goals, they'd end up winning by 1 point. Kennedy's making a lead out of the goal square. Sargent's
got to get on with it.
Shot, yeah, he does. He needs to hurry up. He's going to kick from about 55 metres out directly in front. Sargent to bring it back to what it will be, 11 points.
Off the Brett Lee run-up, right in the centre square. That is floating through for touched over the line behind, and it is back to 16 points. So Heidelburg once again
looked like
their 18th point of the day, Tommy.
It looked like he'd almost carried the distance there. The ball just dipped there at the last second. I thought it was going towards the goals, but it just faded out to the right late as Carl Musciano brings it in. He's been fantastic, one of the contenders for the Narellan Pools Player of the Day, but he turns it over, and now Chance Allen goes bang on the left from 50, and that is an absolute shocker.
The wrong side of the boundary line.
And we've talked about wasted opportunities for the Tigers today. That is just a clear example of what we've been talking about all afternoon.
Well, they're doing what they did in the third quarter by just rushing all the opportunities. They had a lot of the momentum in that third term, and every time they went inside the forward 50, they just rushed it too much, and Allen did that just then by kicking it out of bounds on the full. But it's being called back here. I think the umpire wants Farrell to...
Coach Barrel, that...
well, they asked it was from the back pocket. I think it was Farrell who kicked it out from the back pocket, and the umpire called it back, and Cloak just bombed it back away over the boundary line. So from the back pocket is Carmuciano, who again goes out to right half back, taking a mark. It's Dennis, who's done that all day long.
The chlorinated pools of the Narellan Pools Player of the Day nomination could be coming his way.
Dennis goes up the line to a contest. Dorbolo gets a fist in, taps it down to Robbie Allen on hands and knees, gets it out now to a man in Jamie Allen, off to Justin Murphy. They need to move it quickly here, Heidelberg, if they have any chance of winning. Healy takes a mark at the right half forward. A lot of players running forward now for Heidelberg. They need to find a man inside the forward 50. Healy just bangs it on the right. Kennedy's underneath it. 2-on-1 contest. Kennedy's taking it.
Now he's being told to move on.
He's running back on his mark. He's going to go back quickly here and take it off a long run-up as well. Kennedy's going to line up here for his 4th goal of the day, which I believe all in this last term as well. Kennedy coming in. There's 30 minutes gone in this last term. It's gone through. The final siren's gone. And in the end, it was Bundoora who won by 10 points after getting out to a huge lead. It was 57 points at one stage. But at the end of it, at full time, it was Bundoora 13-10-88 to Heidelberg 10-18-78. Bundoora will next week face Montmorency in the semi-final, and Heidelberg will take on the winner of tomorrow's game between Northcote Park and Eltham. Guys, what a game that was. Before I get your thoughts, let's do the formalities. Tommy Flanagan, goal scorers, if you would.
The goal scorers, Cam Cloak kicked 4 big ones for Bundoora. James Lord with 2 before he got injured and went off with that hamstring. Kent Delbridge put through 2, he was fantastic. Gary Moorcroft with 2 also, and then Sal Mamone, Braden Shaw and Adrian Papalucha all with 1 each. And for Heidelberg, Jason Kennedy with 4 last quarter goals. He was fantastic trying to take the fight to Bundoora in the last quarter there. Favren booted 2, Sargent, Naboot, Miller and Hodgkin all with singles.
And Lee Malden around the grounds, please.
In Division 2, Fitzroy Stars 22-15-147, comfortably leading Whittlesea 14-12-96. And Watsonia through to the grand final against Pantnell next Saturday. They are 17-15-117, Thomastown 14-6-90. can't be too long left there, but Whittlesea will be facing the winner of North Heidelberg and Diamond Creek next week.
And that should be an enthralling battle. Whichever team gets through there, Whittlesea coming off a down game, they want to be bringing their best footy for the next one.
We're going to take a quick break here on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. Join us on the other side for the post-game wrap-up here from Preston City Oval. You're listening to your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
The Real Thing with